Afternoon. We are looking at hemostasis and coagulation. My name is Mr. D.R. Siwale, human physiologist. So I'm going to look at the following things: stages of hemostasis, factors involved in blood clotting, sequence of clotting mechanisms, and what a blood clot is. I will then look at anti-clotting mechanisms in the body, which will also discuss the anticoagulants. Physical methods to prevent blood clotting, that will be number 7. If they are anticoagulant, number 8, we'll look at procoagulant, those that promotes coagulation. And then we'll look at the test for blood clotting, like the bleeding time, prothrombin time, clotting time. Very important. You can just use this test to assess the bleeding disorders. And then I'll be able to define some disorders of blood. So, what are the stages of hemostasis? First and foremost, hemostasis is defined as the arrest or stoppage of bleeding. So, when a blood vessel is injured, it can be any injury, trauma. The injury initiates a series of reactions resulting in hemostasis. So what are these series of reactions? There will be vasoconstriction, there will be platelet plug formation, there will be coagulation of blood. For example, when a blood vessel has been injured, there is platelet agglutination, there is fibrin appears, there is fibrin clot formation, there is stoppage of bleeding. So this is called hemostasis. Now let's be more systematic. There are 3 phases of hemostasis. So the first one is vasoconstriction. So immediately after an injury, the blood vessel will constrict. A blood vessel which had a larger diameter will become smaller. What's the reason according to Ohm's law? When the blood vessel is constricted, even blood flow reduces. So blood flow will reduce and there will be a reduction in loss of blood. So mainly the blood vessels that constrict are these smaller arteries and the arterioles. Now, what triggers vasoconstriction? It's serotonin, which is released when the endothelium is damaged. Serotonin, how is it released? First of all, when the endothelium is damaged, the collagen is exposed. So platelets just gets attracted to collagen so much. When it gets attracted, the platelets will become activated. So some of the substances they will release are what we call serotonin. So these serotonin are the ones that causes the vasoconstriction. Let's not talk much. And then platelet plug. The platelets have a property called adhesive property. The 3 properties of platelets are these. One is adhesiveness, agglutination, and what? There is adhesiveness, whereby the platelets stick to surfaces, and then there's aggregation, where the platelets stick to each other, and then there's agglutination. Agglutination involves isolation of the injured particles and pathogens. Platelets, meaning they play a role in immunity. Now, platelet plug formation, when the platelets get attached to the collagen. They become activated, as I said. They release some of the substances, adenosine diphosphate and thromboxane. So these substances can attract other platelets. Okay, they are what we call chemotaxic. So these two substances attract more and more platelets, resulting into the formation of a platelet plug at the site of injury. Okay, there's also other chemical compounds like platelet activating factors, which are released, which accelerates the formation of platelet plug. So that's what's happening in platelet plug formation. And then we have coagulation of blood. This means formation of fibrin. Okay, a blood clot. It's a complete blood clot. It's the final stage of formation. That's why I'm going to talk about this in more detail. The formation of a coagulant. Okay, which involves 3 steps. That is formation of prothrombin activator. There will be a formation of prothrombin to thrombin, and then there will be activation of fibrinogen to fibrin. They all will be discussed under coagulation of blood. So, what happens in coagulation of blood? The fibrinogen, which is a protein circulating in the bloodstream, is converted into fibrin. By what? By an enzyme called thrombin. Okay. By an enzyme called thrombin. So in summary, what am I talking about? So you can see this is the summary of reaction involved in hemostasis. You can see there is a lot of activities happening. When a blood vessel has been injured, you can see the endothelium has been injured here. What will be exposed is collagen and thromboplastin. Collagen is one of the largest proteins found in man in terms of concentration. There's also this thromboplastin, which is called a tissue factor. Okay, these are very important because they are going to activate the platelets. Okay, they are going to activate the platelets. What do I mean by activation? Platelets will now start to release serotonin, which is 5-HT. 5-HT, meaning 5-hydroxytryptamine. Okay, 5-hydroxytryptamine. It will be released by the platelets. What does 5-HT cause? It causes vasoconstriction. We know vasoconstriction mechanisms. Okay. The other thing that you're going to see, the thromboplastin will activate thrombin, which converts circulating fibrinogen to fibrin, and fibrin is what we want. These fibrin monomers, they are going to polymerize and form what we call cross-linked and accumulate with the platelet at the site of injury to form a clot. And that way blood loss will be reduced. Okay, blood loss will be reduced. So this mechanism is very important in the human body. Once you are injured, this mechanism should take place, the hemostatic mechanism, to prevent excessive loss of blood. What are the effects of excessive loss of blood? We know blood is life. There's a lot of functions performed by blood. One of them is defense functions, transportation of nutrients, blood involved in regulation of acids, base. It's involved in regulation of pH. It's also involved in the regulation of water balance as an excretory substance. So once blood is lost because a hemostatic mechanism failed, all these functions will not take place. Okay, it will lead to conditions such as reduced blood pressure, hemorrhagic shock, reduced oxygen concentration in the body, resulting into ischemia, tissue necrosis, and eventually organ failure. So these mechanisms are important. Okay, very important. I'll continue. Thank you very much.